Lanny Davis, the lawyer for Michael Cohen, was on NBC's Today Show earlier this morning talking about all this. Savannah Guthrie asked him about the prospects for a presidential pardon. Here's what he had to say.
Is he hoping for a pardon from President Trump?
Not only is he not hoping for, he would not accept a pardon. He considers a pardon from somebody who has acted so corruptly as president to be something he would never accept.
So Lanny Davis there saying that Michael Cohen is not asking for a pardon, would never accept a pardon from President Trump. That changes the dynamics a little bit in terms of the leverage that the president might have over Michael Cohen. So Michael Cohen pleading guilty yesterday on 8 counts, including a campaign finance violation involving payments to women related to their allegations of sexual affairs with the president in order to keep those allegations secret before the election. Also yesterday in Alexandria, Virginia, Paul Manafort, the president's former campaign manager, found guilty on 8 counts by a jury in that state. So dueling legal cases here threatening to the president. But Rudy Giuliani, the president's attorney, issuing a statement yesterday regarding the Cohen matter, suggesting that it doesn't really have any impact on the president, saying there's no allegation of any wrongdoing against the president in the government's charges against Mr. Cohen. It is clear, Rudy Giuliani says, that as the prosecutor noted, Mr. Cohen's actions reflect a pattern of lies and dishonesty over a significant period of time. So Rudy Giuliani, the president's current lawyer, suggesting that the president's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, engaged in a pattern of lies and dishonesty over a significant period of time. No word from the president on much of this. He talked about it briefly in West Virginia last night, but he's been quiet on Twitter this morning. And normally garrulous president of the United States on Twitter in the mornings hasn't issued anything since his return from West Virginia on Twitter last night, guys.
You know, Eamon, what do we expect is the next step in this? Obviously, there's so much more to unpack from this big story here. We're seeing Michael Cohen now, once President Trump's one of his closest friends and allies, obviously turning now on the president. But from a legal perspective, do we have any idea on either front what the next steps are?
I mean, this is a Shakespearean drama at this point. You've got Michael Cohen, who once said he would take a bullet for the president of the United States, now being among the most threatening figures out there to the president's entire presidency. Lanny Davis suggested on television last night that Michael Cohen has more information, particularly around criminal computer hacking and whether or not the president knew about that hacking ahead of time and even cheered it on, says Lanny Davis. So the question is, what does Michael Cohen know about the president's involvement in Russian computer hacking, and is he willing to talk to prosecutors about that?
You're talking about whether he knew about the WikiLeaks beforehand, and even the president had said very publicly, hey, are you listening? Go after it, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, the president's aides have suggested that comment during the campaign trail, when the president said, hey, Russia, if you're listening, I want you to find Hillary's emails. Yeah. They suggest that comment was just a joke. He didn't really mean it. He wasn't actually tasking Russian intelligence with hacking Hillary Clinton's emails. But what Lanny Davis was suggesting is that it might be the case that Michael Cohen knows about criminal computer hacking. Remember, there were Clinton campaign-related emails that were stolen using computers by Russian intelligence, according to an indictment of those Russian GRU members earlier this year from the special counsel's office. The question is, did the president know about that hacking before it happened, and was he cheering it on, as Lanny Davis suggests Michael Cohen knows to be the case? So what Michael Cohen says now to the special counsel is of huge interest, and then how the president responds to all of this. There are a number of things, steps the president could take, and we'll wait and see whether he takes any of them that could make this perilous situation even more politically precarious for the nation.
We have talked about a bull market in stocks, Eamon. My guess is there is right now, at this very moment, a bull market in anybody who is an expert in campaign finance law in Washington, D.C., because that's where it's all going to come back to. Seriously. It's going to come back to campaign finance law. And the Washington Post, I think, had a great analysis this morning, which is that you can hate the president, you can know that there may have been laws broken in campaign finance, but for a sitting president to be indicted or impeached is nearly impossible.
Well, look, there's Department of Justice guidelines out there that suggest that DOJ attorneys believe it's not possible under the Constitution to indict a sitting president. So it's likely that Robert Mueller would not indict, although not guaranteed that he would not indict. The other possibility for Mueller is to write a report about all of this, submit that to the Attorney General, in this case to Rod Rosenstein, because the Attorney General is recused because of his own involvement with Russians. And then Rod Rosenstein would be in a position of deciding whether to refer that to Capitol Hill for impeachment. So some fascinating questions here about where we go, but these are the highest stakes in the world, absolutely.